Hi everyone. I'm excited to be here today to talk to you about some of the miracle stories that are happening right here in our own city, in our own state, every day. My name is Tony Kausha, and the title of our show is Tony's 50,000 Coincidence Miracles. Please note, this show is not about religion, and we're not trying to change anyone's religion, and we're not trying to get you to join any religion. It's just about miracle stories. I don't know of any religion on the planet that doesn't talk about miracles. That's why religions begin, because they have something that's telling them there's really a God. But we're not going to get into that. We're going to just talk about miracles and leave the decisions about all that up to you. So we don't care what religion you are. We just want to talk about miracles. If you are an atheist, I think you'll enjoy the program as well, although I can't guarantee you'll remain an atheist very long after you hear many convincing stories, coincidence kinds of stories about miracles. You can email me your own stories if you wish. We'll try to use all we can on the show. I can't guarantee we will, depending on volume and time, but you're welcome to send your stories on to us, and we will mention them when we can. You can send them to the following email address. But please notice that if we do use your story, we won't mention your name. We'll keep you anonymous. And we suggest that in your story, when you send it to us, don't use your correct name. That way anyone listening will not be able to figure out that it was you that sent the story in. The email address you can send your stories to is very easy to remember. It consists of 2 words and 3 numbers. The first word is Tony, spelled Tony, and the second word is and, spelled AND, and the numbers are 777. So once again, the name is Tony and 777 at AOL.com. Well, let us begin. Our first coincidence miracle today is a beautiful story about 2 women who met in kindergarten, and they went to the same grammar schools in their life. They went to the same high schools and also went to the same colleges together. They had an amazing life together, close friends. They were kindred spirits. They had similar hobbies, similar interests. They went on vacations together very often, even with their families. They had the same religion, and they had the same group of friends. So they were very close-knit, and they were together from kindergarten until the age of 28. So that's about 23 years of being very close friends. Their names were Mary and Erica. Once again, Mary and Erica. And Mary was telling us the story, and she related to us how often when they would be in groups with other people, when questions came up, they would wind up answering simultaneously, which indicated to them that their minds were developed on a similar wavelength, because they would be responding simultaneously, which means their thought process took about the same amount of time from the time somebody else said something to when they both wound up saying giving the same answer. So since they often would say the same thing at the same moment, they determined after many years their whole thought process was even the same. So it's a beautiful story of 2 friends became such great friends. They were almost like twins. Actually, a lot of people asked them if they were twins because they had a similar appearance, but their personalities were so similar that was the key thing, that people would wonder if they were twins or not. Unfortunately, at the age of 28, Erica had a car accident, and it was fatal, and she passed away. Mary was not with her at the time, thankfully, and Mary, telling us the story, tells us how it took about 2 years for Mary to even partially get over the loss of this close friend. As I indicated earlier, they were extremely close, so they thought alike. They did many things together. So now that Erica had passed away and Mary was doing a lot of things on her own, it was even harder. It was a vivid reminder that it wasn't the same anymore. All the things she was doing that she used to enjoy with her best friend Erica, now she was doing them alone. But she tells us that during this 2 years, an amazing thing was happening, and it took about 2 years for her to really resolve what was going on. She tells us that many, many times when she was having problems in the 2 years after Erica had passed away after the car accident, she'd be trying to do things or decide things, and she would feel as though her friend Erica was still here with her invisibly, saying things, not audibly, but like inspiring her with answers like she had in the past. I mean, in the past, when Erica was still alive, Mary would talk to her about a lot of decisions she was making, and both of them used to advise each other. But she said that she felt during this 2 years after Erica had passed away, she was still getting this advice, she was still getting the input, even though Erica was no longer living. And so she prayed about it, Mary prayed about it, and she came to an understanding that perhaps God in his wonderful love was allowing Erica to be Mary's guardian angel. And that's at least what she was experiencing. So Mary was feeling as though now she had a guardian angel, and the guardian angel was Erica, her close friend, and they were close friends for 23 years. Well, the next wonderful thing that happened to Mary is after 2 years now that she lost her best friend, but she's very confident that her best friend Erica is her guardian angel and with her still every day now and helping her with inspirations. But what happened is Mary met a man, and his name is Eric. That's why this is a great coincidence miracle, because this man Eric now, who Mary was dating 2 years after Erica passed away, turns out that his personality is very, very similar to Erica's personality, and the likes and his dislikes are very similar. So what Mary is finding now, she meets a man named Eric. She fell in love. They've dated for 3 years now. They've scheduled their wedding date now, so they're going to be married. And he turns out to be very much like Erica, her very close friend that she knew for 23 years. And he filled in this gap that Mary had of, after 23 years of having a friend who liked everything the same, similar vacations, etc. Now, thank God, Mary has a man she's going to marry, and his name happens to be Eric. And now she's going to be able to do the same things with Eric, enjoy all of the things, the sports and the musical interests, the religion, etc., etc. So this is a great story so far. But then another amazing thing happened, because it turns out that Eric has a very young niece, his sister's daughter, and his sister's daughter happens to have the name Erica. So this is really a tri-coincidence miracle, I guess, so far, because Mary loses a friend, Erica, winds up meeting a man she's going to marry named Eric, and then she finds out that Eric has a niece, and the niece's name is Erica. Sadly, however, the niece has contracted cancer, and it is, the doctors have talked about how it was a terminal cancer. It was a 4th stage of cancer, and there was very little hope. The doctors actually held out no hope at all. And so what Mary did was she instantly began pleading with her guardian angel, Erica, and pleading with her now, and she knows she just behaves like Erica is her guardian angel. So she began pleading with Erica to please intercede with God in heaven to please help to bless Eric's niece, because she has terminal cancer and she has the same name, Erica. So this is an amazing story so far, and it goes on yet, because the entire family was praying for the young girl, Erica, because of her cancer. The entire family was, and certainly Mary kept asking her guardian angel and her best friend, Erica, in heaven to help. And we're very happy to report that the child miraculously has been cured, and the doctors don't have any explanations to tell us except it certainly looks like a miracle. All the facts, all the evidence was that she wasn't going to survive, and now the young girl is fine, 100% completely healed of the cancer. Our next coincidence miracle is pretty amazing in my opinion. I was at a park about 48 miles away from our town and passing out cards as I do at public parks. I handed a card to a woman who was sitting on a park bench, and she was very interested in it. She asked me a lot of questions. She asked about the book title. She was fascinated with the title, Tony's 50,000 Coincidence Miracles. She said, "Did you really experience 50,000? I said, "Yes, I did." I wrote 2 books now, working on my 3rd book with about 100 miracles in each book. Out of the sampling of 50,000, and a lot of them are common kinds of things that are, reoccurring kinds of miracles, but nonetheless 50,000. So she was interested. She asked, how they work, what kinds of miracles there were. She asked me for several examples. She was really very interesting and very interested. I haven't found many people asking so many questions, and I found out why, because when I finished answering her question, she said, "Well, I want to make a couple of points, Tony. First, I also experienced many coincidence miracles just like you're citing, but I want to relate to you that I might shock you. I hope I don't shock you, but I'm a member of a group of people who believe in similar things. However, we believe that there are hundreds of gods, not just one God." And furthermore, she said, "I wrote a couple of books, and I'm a member of a group of witches, and witches get a lot of bad press in history, Tony. Witches were, burnt at the stake and killed and murdered. So witches get a lot of bad press. But nonetheless, there are still a lot of witches, and we meet together. We share a lot of miracles that we've experienced, and we have found that there are hundreds of gods in our faith." And so she said to me, "So Tony, how are you convinced that there is only one God?" And I said, "Well, I've done a lot of research. When I started getting my miracles, I took some evening courses at colleges during the summer on the history of religions and studied about religions because I was getting miracles and I wanted to know, which religion for me was the best religion for me." And I told her I don't preach religions, but I contend that each of us needs to find our own way. First, we discover God, and once we discover God, then He helps us to discover what religion to be a member of. But she asked, why am I so positive? So I said, I did a lot of research, and for example, I found that there's been 10,000 saints, 10,000 canonized saints over the last 2,000 years. Their life stories are like an open book. There's books on every one of the 10,000. And if you read them, you'll see they all had similar experiences, and they all professed one God. And the Judeo-Christian religion, we're told that Adam and Eve existed 7,000 or 8,000 years ago. So 7,000 or 8,000 years ago, the Judeo-Christian religions and the Muslim religions have told us that there's only one God. And that we're talking about 4 billion people, more than half of the world's population, more than half, have been telling us for something like 7,000 years when they existed throughout history. They're telling us there's one single God, and there's a Bible with 2,000 pages in it, Old Testament, New Testament, that very convincingly explains. And so we have people, 4 billion people professing there's one God and still getting miracles every day. So that's my strength for why I believe there's only one God. God bless you all. I'll talk to you next week.